There once was a god of gods. Welcome to a new Minecraft experience with designed, not erratic lore, a scheduled flow rate of characters, chances for anyone at all to join, a hopefully large cast of YouTubers, streamers, and any and all creators from across the internet, popularities large or small, and best of all, it's all happening in the next few months. SMPGODMODE coming between August and November. Set foot in a world where the death of the single most powerful god, the Eternal Father, set off a chain reaction which broke his land and started a centuries-long war over which element was most powerful. Now, as the elements grow into nations and begin to be wary of this war, a small ragtag group of egalitarian gods sets out to bring the nations together and reunite the unity, restoring every god's power to their full potential. You have the power to influence this world, as all gods are able to hear voices from the fourth wall, that's you, or you may even join it with enough dedication. With all this, there's only two questions that remain. Who are you, and what will you do? Welcome, SMPGODMODE. Okay, so look, I know right now I look like a generally plotted SMP server, one of many, and maybe not all that interesting from the get-go, but this I truly believe could make it very big with your help. So like most people during the pandemic, I dipped in toe into the ever-popular DreamSMP, a lore-based server which, due to its heavy amount of popular streamers, changed Minecraft's community forever. Except for one thing. It wasn't ever popular. In its latter dying stages, anyone could see the cracks, and I decided, like the hoi-for addicted opportunist I am, to seize the moment, ride their coattails, and siphon them. The opportunity sort of slipped because, gee, I didn't realize how much work went into making an SMP, but I'm still here to prove to you how I can do what they did, but better. Much better, because their examples and failures what taught me what not to do. But exactly what were the failures that caused the DreamSMP to collapse? Well, it seemed like too long to wait for answers if I asked Minecraft communities to vote on polls everywhere, so I asked the all-knowing AI to list 10 reasons for the DreamSMP's decline. These reasons were the following: the eventual breaking off of members, Dream's loss in interest, an official shutdown, the COVID pandemic ending, the competition, the oversaturation of lore, drama and controversies, lack of creativity / high expectations for the writing, the spoilers, the gradual loss of uniqueness, and plus 3 of my own observed failures. A failure to properly adapt from a survival SMP to a lore SMP, a failure to deal with and listen to community on important subjects such as tragedies, a far too fast growth in members. And I know that's a lot, so I'll go over them quickly and tell you how SMPGODMODE will manage these better and therefore have much more potential and therefore a better popularity spree than the ill-fated one of the green hooded mask, and how you can get on board before the wave even comes. Breaking off of members. We plan to deal with this not by discouraging members to leave, but by having a steady but limited flow of new members to replace them, more on that later, and proper reasons for their leaving, more on that later too. This way we can always have new blood, and still allow easy ins and outs for those who can no longer sustain the project. Creator interest loss. I've been planning this for around 8 months now or more, so trust me when I say I'm not giving up on this that easy. This is going to be my main focus apart from some Minecraft Civilization events, and I have demoted myself in other projects specifically to drill into this. I also set up plans that I intend to follow, and even if I lose interest, I'm not going to quit until those are done. After that, I can pass arcs and story building to a trusted member of the team and take a silent ownership role from there. Canon shutdowns. This won't happen for a very long time. I plan to keep the project in for the long haul, as long as I can. General populace finally doing other things. Will it help the DreamSMP launched and then stardom with pandemic shutting down life so people had nowhere else to turn isn't required to become a cult classic in the Minecraft community? Think about Hermitcraft, The Pals, Snappy's Lovely World, and plenty of others. They didn't need a pandemic to get them started, just dedicated, personable individuals. We'll do the same, rocky, slow start or not. The competition. Look, there are a lot of other servers out there, and I don't expect everyone to go to SMPGODMODE as their main one. But as a person who's viewed the competition to see what made them great and what made them fall or plan this, I can assure you that SMPGODMODE has the power and longevity to outlast them all and come out as the next big thing, with a lot of hard work and just a pinch of luck. Too much lore! Essentially, SMPGODMODE was created and designed as a lore server, so obviously there is a long lore. We capitalized this and made this problem less of a bug, more of a feature, as to end other problems in this. honest. SMP God Mode looks for people who are, how does Twitter say it? Yes, willing to read all that for a good tale. My works are based off that of Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Rowling, Harry Potter, Sutherland, Wings of Fire and Warriors, and Fox, Undertale, Deltarune, and to some degree, Homestuck. And obviously, none of these people got famous because they wrote a short, halfway grammatical note somewhere. They got famous because they crafted a world full of intrigue, which is what I've done. TLDR, come on guys, you've got more than 5 minutes, read a good story. Not everything's 2 sentences long. Drama and controversy. Obviously there's bound to be something somewhere eventually, and I will not make a promise that nothing will ever go wrong in the personal lives of this hopefully to-be extensive community, because that's a promise nobody can keep. I can, however, promise that I'll take a tough on quote crime unquote stance and deal out sentences to troublemakers in the SMP or in its community as needed and as called for by the community. And for me, myself, while I'm competitive, any evil behavior is contained within my evil characters and stays there. Mwahaha. Lack of creativity and high expectations. Remember when I said there was so much lore it increased the problem to solve others? Well, this is one of the ones it solved. The lore written before the SMP's official beginning already makes a firm statement on the quality of the lore, the direction of the story, and subsequent stories. There's no need to be worried over lack of creativity, as you can see how much work and care is put into this already and will be continued to work on and care for. Plus, since the lore already exists for us to follow, the bar and expectation is set and won't move. The spoilers. I can't promise that I can absolutely totally remove all spoilers, not even Marvel could after Infinity War, right? Because I can't be everywhere in the community at once, and I certainly can't moderate everywhere either. I can, however, promise that on the official Discord, which we'll open later, we'll adopt the Fandom Wings of Fire Wiki's method of requiring spoilers to be clearly stated or warned for at least a week after large lore streams occur. We'll know which ones are large or not via announcements. Gradual loss of uniqueness. Loss of uniqueness. Time's way of telling you that your 15 minutes of fame is over. There's not a lot of things you can do to stop people from eventually A, ripping you off, or B, becoming accustomed to needing something new. However, SMP God Mode promises to be able to change it up often. We've already planned different arcs with simple lore to build off of when the time comes, and listen much more to community input than other SMPs, meaning that uniqueness will be significantly higher and restored on a constant basis. Failure to properly adapt to a new rule. See, the Dream SMP was never supposed to be a lore SMP, and therefore was thrust into needing their members, originally there to play survival Minecraft, into taking part in some odd mix between a video game, TV show, and roleplay, and had a hard time adjusting. SMP God Mode, having already purposely blended a survival SMP with a long enough lore that you can manage to both play the game and play within the story at the same time, another problem extended lore solved, makes us be able to solve this problem with relative ease by informing people they will need to take their role but mainly just play survival Minecraft apart from lore streams. Essentially, we're far more organized. Failure to listen to community and properly handle large events. One of the largest things that made the Dream SMP collapse was the failure on the leading members' part to properly make decisions that focused more on what the community wanted and rather make rash decisions in what they assumed was the best bet. SMP God Mode will not do this, and will always attempt to take community needs first. We learned from their missing safeguard, in the case of tragedy or a member needing to leave for any reason, there is a special question in it for every member's forum that all must answer, which asks them how they would want their character faded out. Needless to say, we won't be memorializing someone by using a nuclear bomb to wipe out any influence they had in the server. Far too much fame. Dream SMP got really popular, really fast, and with the development of lore and a steady uprising in members due to all friends inviting their friends who invited their friends, this meant not everyone had a place in the lore. Only the most popular of the main characters were ever really included. Furthermore, this meant that most people who joined and brought their communities left, and then took those communities back. This is understandable, when we at SMP God Mode mean to limit the flow of members by use of operations which clearly dictate who can join the server and when, and if they'd be of value to the story. This means that only dedicated creative people join, and therefore will find their place in the main story or some form of subplot. This solves the problem of having too many unmanageable members at once, and allows a steady flow of users to come in and out of the community like the tide, so SMP God Mode concurrently stays popular without hitting too popular. And that would be an affirmative 12 things SMP God Mode will do that makes it better than the previous ringleader of the Minecraft community, so be prepared because it launches soon. Thanks for watching.